raise their home built on a pile of gold. And for the young and the old, life and work just carry on. So take a good look and you'll see that they ordinary people like you and me. Feel free to come to the village reef. You'll meet the people I know and some that just come and go. And here your life's not your own. Everybody knows what everybody knows. So take a good look and you'll see that they ordinary people like you and me. Feel free to come to the village reef.
This is crazy. Look, I rock up here expecting to hear all about your trip. All the details, all the stories, and what happens? We sit here discovering we've got nothing to say to each other.
You haven't talked about yourself either.
I haven't been overseas. I've been stuck in a stope on 22 level with Ted Dixon. Now, how's that for an exhilarating 3 months? Well, how can you be so blasé about it? That's what I can't understand.
Blasé?
Well, I suppose for the jet-set McRae's flying to Europe's like catching a number 9 bus.
Oh, come on, that's not fair.
Then how else do you explain your indifference? Look, I would have expected at least a little enthusiasm. If only to entertain the plebs like me who've never been further than Germiston.
Coming back is like crossing the Great Divide. I feel very disorientated.
Is it another guy? Someone you met? Well, I get the distinct impression that you're sorry to be back. I should have guessed. I mean, it was obvious from your dozens of letters and scores of postcards that I was constantly on your mind. Oh, well. Hey, how would you like to jump back into the deep end? Look, they're having a concert at the Rec Club tonight. It'll help speed up the process of readjustment. Look, you meet all your favorite characters. Be reassured that however the rest of the world might change, the good folk of Village Reef remain the same. Solid, dependable, salt of the earth. Look, man, Cheese is going to be billed as operatic tenor. Now, you can't miss that.
Oh, no, I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
No, I suppose not. Who'd expect you to climb down from the heights of Covent Garden and the Royal Albert Hall and mess about with the likes of us? And I use the word us advisedly. Because if people like Cheezer and Wally and Ted aren't good enough for you, I'm not good enough for you either. If you look down on Village Reef, you look down on me.
Nick.
Just one postcard would have been sufficient. Something like, Dear Nick, having such an exciting time, can't bear the thought of coming home. At least that would have warned me how you feel about it.
You don't understand.
I missed you. You obviously didn't miss me. What more is there to understand than that?
You don't know what you're missing. Diana McRae is doing the Dance of the Seven Veils. She's playing Salome to Chisela Boscatni's King Herod.
Hey?
And for the grand finale, Nell Clay's coming in as Lady Godiva. Not a stitch on.
What did you say?
The theme is a historical pageant. Hilton and Collier in the first scene as Adam and Eve. Ted Dixon's the serpent.
What are you talking about? Something about Diana McRae doing the Dance of the Seven Veils. What?
With Cheezer.
At the concert tonight.
Honestly, you two, I might just as well be part of the furniture. I've been talking to myself for the last 20 minutes.
It just requires concentration. Your move, Quintus.
Sel, you're a gifted cook, a superb hostess, and a most beautiful girl.
How nice to be appreciated.
Come on, Quintus.
A little love and affection, everything's fine, eh?
Didn't do your marriage much good. Check.
It's all over. My whole future. All my meticulous planning lying in ruins.
What happened?
Well, I was going to marry Wendy, remember? connections like the McRaes, I could confidently anticipate being appointed chairman of the board one day. Now I'll have to put up with being just another mine manager.
Have you had a fight?
Already?
But she's only just got back.
So what's gone wrong?
Something's gone wrong with Wendy. Don't ask me what it is.
I disagree. I don't think one should have to show appreciation. If a person can't sing a note, there's absolutely no point in applauding. I mean, a mine standards are standards, even if it is only a mine concert.
Well, they weren't too bad for a bunch of amateurs. They seem to be enjoying themselves.
Well, if you're going to the trouble to put on a concert, you might at least go to the trouble to rehearse properly.
She's meditating.
I can see that.
Do you think we should have coffee in the dining room?
That's all she ever seems to be doing these days.
Oh, Hilton, you know she's changed a lot.
I'll say.
She says she's more peaceful.
Well, we're entitled to entertain our guests in our own lounge. Take a seat. Anyone for a nightcap? No?
Oh, I'll have something long and cold, please. That stuffy hall made me feel quite parched.
A lemon squash, too?
Lovely, thanks, with lots of ice.
As I say, for a mine concert, it wasn't too bad. They had the right spirit, and that's what really counts. My only criticism is of Ellis's jokes. I think he should have toned them down a bit. Apart from that, a very enjoyable evening.
Do you think she's all right?
Oh, yes, it's a sort of Eastern thing, rather like yoga. It's perfectly harmless. Everyone's doing it these days.
There we are.
Oh, thanks.
Dinah?
You know, we could easily sit on the patio. It's a very mild evening.
I'm going to have a cold beer. How about you, Basil?
It'll go down well, thank you.
Right.
Are you sure she's all right?
Oh, yes. You just put absolutely everything out of your mind. It's a form of complete relaxation.
It's something she picked up in England.
I thought that joke about the 3 sailors in Hamburg was a bit strong. I really must have a word with Ellis about it in the morning.
I thought Cheeser was very funny, though. That fellow's a natural comedian.
Well, at least he's got no pretensions to being a singer, unlike Charlene Swimmer.
I still think it was a good concert.
I've been a lot better if I'd had anything to do with it.
Di?
Oh, I'll have the same as Nell.
Those 3 sailors in Hamburg.
I'm afraid I must have had a very sheltered upbringing. I didn't get it.
The point of the joke was that they were 3 Japanese sailors from Fukushima.
Oh, it didn't make any difference where they came from.
That's what it does. When the girl said to them, "Where do you come from?"
I really think we should go outside.
It's damn rude, if you ask me. Give her a shake.
No.
Did you think my speech was all right, Basil? You didn't think perhaps it was a bit too long?
No, I think you hit just the right note.
I often wonder if a speech by a general manager is at all necessary, really.
I think they've come to expect it.
Not a good enough reason. As far as speeches are concerned, there's a time and a place, but at a mine concert, I think it's far better to be getting on with the show. Of course, you're quite right, Diana. Let's take our drinks out on the patio.
Oh, yes, let's.
Oh, I do wish she'd stop it. It gives me the creeps.
Now, you know, Di, I still don't think it makes any difference at all whether they were Chinese or Japanese.
Yes, no, but what were they doing in Hamburg? That's what I don't understand.
Well, you see, there were these 3 Chinese sailors on a ship.
Was that a dirty one, too?
Of course, didn't you get it?
No.
Well, that's why you're not as shocked as I am. You see, there were 3 sailors from Hong Kong. And they were all sailed away. They went on their ships. They went to...
What's so funny?
You are the best.
What's so funny about that? I don't know what everybody was laughing at. Never going to sing to that lot again. I don't appreciate good singing. I used to sing for the Morris Bait Choral Society. Me and McFanway Evans. McFanway Evans even sang on the wireless. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Hey?
I should have walked off the stage. That's what I should have done.
But they clapped, man. They clapped like mad.
Yeah, they laughed like mad, too.
Arthur Ellis should never have told a story like that.
Yo?
The only reason I didn't walk off the stage was because of Mrs. McRae. At least she's got taste. She appreciates a bit of culture.
Ah, she enjoyed your performance, eh? I saw her laughing her head off.
Ach, man, and it was supposed to be serious.
Hey?
But I thought it was supposed to be funny.
So did I.
So did the whole hall.
Well, they should have looked at the programme. Said Mr. P.J. Labuschagne, operatic tenor.
Well, you should have told them that at the beginning, so they wouldn't get the wrong idea, you see.
Well, who ever heard of a singer having to do a
man,
thing like
because
that?
in your
Look, if
case-
they haven't got any culture, that's their problem. When Baffanwy Evans and I used to sing, there was dead quiet. You could hear a pin drop.
Because everybody was fast asleep.
I should have known better than to sing to that crowd tonight.
What is the name of the song you sang again?
Tonight?
Yeah.
Little Grey Home in the West. And what he wanted to sing was, somewhere a voice is calling.
Well, what's wrong with that?
If they laughed at Little Grey Home in the West, what do you think they would have done when you sang Somewhere a Voice is Calling? It would have been just like when Ernie Swimmer stood in a bucket of sand and sang the desert song. It brought the house down.
Sing it? That one about a voice calling or something?
Somewhere a voice is calling.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Me and Baffanwy Evans used to sing that. Soprano and tenor in G. One of my favorites, that one.
Okay, let's hear it then.
Of course, my chords aren't what they used to be. Dusk and the twilight gleaming o'er land and sea. Somewhere a voice is calling, calling to me. Night and the stars are gleaming, tender and true. Dearest, my heart is dreaming, dreaming of you.
There, now you see what you've gone and done.
Well, I liked it. But I did.
I think she got in with a bad lot overseas, and I think they've influenced her.
Give her a little more credit for independence.
Do you know that most of them come from good families? They're intelligent, well-adjusted, privileged youngsters. That's what's so disturbing. One minute they're likable, well-mannered kids, and the next they're kidnapping industrialists, throwing bombs all over the place, and generally creating bloody revolution.
What are you talking about?
Well, that isn't idealism, that's anarchism.
I don't think Wendy would get tied up with a whole lot of people like that. She's far too sensible.
Do you know what's going on inside her head? Because I'm sure I don't. I can't get through to her. Apparently, we no longer speak the same language.
It's what's known as the generation gap, my dear. As you pointed out, it happens in the best of families.
Oh, Hilton, how can you be so flippant? This is serious.
Well, I wonder how she's going to get on with him.
Get on with whom?
We're going to have a visitor. Well?
I like this bit about them wanting him to imbibe the authentic atmosphere of a South African gold mine. It makes Village Reef sound almost romantic.
It is, really. Well, we tend to forget that we have the richest and deepest gold mines in the world, with thousands of men working in the bowels of the earth for an end product, which is the cornerstone of the international monetary market. I mean, look at it like that, it is different.
What do we do with him?
Well, we put him up, take him around, take him down a mine, and arrange a couple of games of golf.
Does he play?
He's bound to. Might even arrange a game of cricket for him.
I was trying to remember if we'd ever met him.
Yes, we did. When we were on their estate in Northumberland. That time I went grass shooting with Sir Noel. He just got back from boarding school.
Oh, yes. Oh, a nice-looking boy. Beautiful manners. Rather sensitive. How old would he be now?
Oh, 22, 23. That's why I was wondering if...
Wendy? Edward is the last person Wendy would be interested in. She'll take one look at his pinstripe suit or tweedy jacket and say, yuck. Oh, darling, you weren't really thinking.
No, of course not. I was just hoping that they might get on, that's all.
Do you know, Hilton, I'm not even going to tell Wendy that he's coming. She'll never believe that we aren't trying to marry them off.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Try and convince her.
Night and the stars are gleaming, tender and true. Dearest, my heart is dreaming, dreaming of you.
It's Jesus' song, that.
Yeah.
Is Edwina sleeping?
Yeah.
Who taught you that?
Jesus did.
You asked him to?
Yeah.
What for?
Oh, well, it's a lekker song.
He taught you all the words and everything?
Yeah.
Yes, now you know 2 songs, eh? Amazing Grace and this one too.
Yeah.
Who do you think it is, actually?
Who?
I mean, it's very beautiful, the words and all that. The stars. But who's calling who?
A voice is calling.
Yeah, but whose voice?
Doesn't say. Maybe we're not supposed to know.
You mean like a mystery?
Yeah.
Mystery voice.
A mystery voice calling from somewhere.
In the night time.
Yeah.
Who's it calling?
Well, whoever's listening.
Yeah, but who's listening?
Maybe we're not supposed to know that either.
Single and available.
Oh.
Which probably explains why the McRaes are so anxious to impress him.
Heard the news? The Harvey Walker's son is about to arrive on Village Reef.
Yeah. And his name is Edward.
And Quintus is taking him underground.
Big deal, eh?
What's more, he's a bachelor. And he's staying with the McRaes. I wonder how Nick will feel about them.
You know the boss is going all out to impress him? Oh, Basil's got to play golf with him. Trevor's been told to keep a place in the cricket team for him. And we're all going to be invited to a formal reception on the 24th.
That's really laying it on.
No wonder old Nick's not shaping with Wendy. I mean, how can you stand up to competition like that?
Wendy.
Who's the stage manager, you or Mum?
What?
This was left lying where I couldn't help but find it.
I wouldn't read anything into that. Your mother just happened to read. Now, look.
Why didn't you just tell me? It's a natural thing to do.
Well, your mother was reading the
So
letter.
now it's the subtle, indirect approach, is it? Don't tell Wendy that the Harvey Walker son is coming to stay. She'll immediately be suspicious. So let her find out accidentally and we'll feign casual indifference.
But we are indifferent. I mean, we don't know the fellow or anything about him.
Well, except that he has such impeccable credentials. I mean, the son of the London chairman. What a catch. Now, don't tell me your mom didn't even mention the possibility. Come on, Dad, be honest. Oh, Dad.
I promise you we did not leave that letter lying around for you to find.
Surprise, surprise.
Have you ever played against a computer?
No.
Quintus says a computer doesn't stand a chance. Apparently it can handle all the possible moves, but it can't cope with human creativity or human inconsistency.
If Quintus knows so much about it, I'm surprised it doesn't play a better game.
Oh, it's sort of reassuring, isn't it? To know that someone like Bobby Fischer isn't just a lot of wheels and nuts turning round.
Sal,
Well, don't you think it's fascinating? What I'd like to know is what would happen if one computer played against another computer.
Why didn't you ask Quintus?
Oh, you know more about computers than Quintus does. Well, that's what Quintus says.
And if Quintus says so, it must be right. Look, Sal, haven't you got anything to occupy you?
Hey, I learned a new one.
A new song?
Yeah.
She's a teacher another song?
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it then.
Yeah.
Yes. What are you standing like that for?
No, you have to stand like that. Roman in the gloamin'.
So loud, man. You'll wake Edwina.
Sorry. Roman in the gloamin' with my lassie by my side. Roman in the gloamin' on the bonny banks of Clyde. When the sun goes down to rest.
What's that mean? Roman in the gloamin'. What's it mean?
Roman. Yeah, Roman wandering around, having a look.
I know what Roman means, man. But what's this gloamin' business, eh? What's gloamin' mean? Eh?
Well, that's the stuff you walk about in.
Yeah, but what is it?
I don't know.
Ach, Ted, man.
Ach, just listen to the song, man. Roman in the gloamin' with on the bonny banks of Clyde.
Yeah, come in, through this way. Because the trouble is, you see, is the fluctuating gold price. I mean, how do you budget for expansion if you don't know what your product's going to be worth in 6 months' time? Oh, Diana, this is Teddy.
Teddy?
Well, Edward Harvey Walker sounds so terrifying, but Teddy brings me down to earth. Lovely to see you.
Oh, lovely to see you, Teddy.
Thank you.
Yo,